if you give value 90% of the time, maybe 5-10% max you sell, you'll monetize really well. If you sell 100% of the time and give value very little, you won't do well. And the key is to keep fostering your audience and helping them so that when they are ready to make that plunge and buy your course or join your cohorted class, they can. There's a big shift. You no longer have to go to universities to learn. There's a lot of people out there, maybe they don't have a teaching degree, but it's okay. They're an expert in the space and you can go and learn from for pennies on the dollar, a fraction of the cost. You don't need student loans. Creators are benefiting from this, and it's a massive win on both ends.
One of the concerns of creators is how to monetize their audiences, to put this into, to call it like that, where they don't have control usually over the media that they're using. We're talking about large platforms where terms can change overnight, limits can be placed, and people don't have control over their content because there might be like ads might be put into that, and they might lose access to their audiences. What do you see there as trends in terms of monetizing? What are the top creators doing in order to continue being able to make a living out of creating free content?
Well, the long-term solution, if you want to monetize and do well and have not just freedom and flexibility, but consistency in revenue, right? Which is very important. And a lot of creators realize this, in which some days you have good days, some days are bad. Some weeks are good, some weeks are bad. Some months are good, some months are bad. And what we found is you can't rely on one platform. That's the first thing. You have to be omni-channel. So you need to be on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much list them all. You got to eventually be on all of them. And you can repurpose content and reuse, which over time will help drive sales. But you're not in control of the algorithms. So on the same time, you have to create your own audience through your own blog, your own site, collect your own emails, your own push notification subscribers, and market to them as well. And when you do a combination of both those things, that is when we see people are winning. That is when we see you're in more control. And the key is to keep educating and helping and sell a fraction of the time. So if you give value 90% of the time, maybe 5-10% max you sell, you'll monetize really well. If you sell 100% of the time and give value very little, you won't do well. And the key is to keep fostering your audience and helping them so that when they are ready to make that plunge and buy your course or join your cohorted class, they can. And it's all about just building your own audience. So blog consistently. I would recommend blogging at least 3 times a week on your own site. Make sure you promote the blog posts, hit up people on Twitter who promote other similar content. Email the people who you linked out to in your content, ask them to share your content, create a podcast. There's very few podcasts out there. It's not competitive and they're a very loyal audience. And make sure you post content on all the social channels.